this session, I want to revolve the concept of list in Python. You are already familiar with the list. The list contains items. Generally, you write the items one by one in a separate line. You may have noticed that you create the list on various occasions. For example, a teacher creates a list of the students which are going to participate in some examination or competition. A doctor may create a list of the patients which are recovered from COVID-19. A librarian may create a list of books which he had ordered from the supplier. There are numerous examples of creating lists in a real life. Maybe you have remembered that in your childhood you have created the list of flowers, list of fruits, list of animals, and so many examples are there in which you need to create a list. Maybe you have noticed that in your textbook there is a list of contents, list of topics you want to prepare for the examination. So in our daily life we are creating lists, we are busy in creating lists. This plays an important role in our life. So before I explain about list in Python, I want to share my story with you. One day I found that my shaving cream is getting over. I need to purchase a new one immediately. So after a few seconds I thought along with the shaving cream I should buy some more grocery items. So I took a piece of paper so that I can make a list of those items which I am going to buy from a local shop. So I put a heading on paper, item list, and started thinking again. I remember that we can create an empty list in Python. In Python programming, we can create an empty list by assigning square brackets, empty square brackets to a variable. Suddenly, I returned from my subconscious mind to conscious mind and start adding items in the list. The first item I have added is shaving cream. In Python programming, a list is created by placing all the items or elements inside square brackets, separated by commas. It can have any number of items and they may be of different types, integer, float, string, etc. After a few minutes, my wife requested to add three more items in the list: Red Label tea, Good Day biscuits, and Amul pure ghee. Again, I thought, is there any method by which a new element can be appended to an existing list? Yes, there is. Python's append method adds an item to the end of the list. The syntax is list variable dot append. Inside the parenthesis, you pass an item. Let's create a Python function to add more elements in the list. I am defining a function here. You know that to define a function, you have to use def keyword. After def keyword, you need to write the name of the function. Here I am writing add items. Inside the add items, I am creating one parameter, list item. Inside this function, I am declaring one variable to get the user's response in the form of yes or no. And I am assigning a value y to this variable. Now I am using one while loop and check whether answer equal to yes. And you know that when this condition is true, the statements written inside the while loop will execute. So I am creating one more variable, new item, and I call the input function, in which I am writing a prompt, enter name of new item. So this prompt will be displayed on the screen, and when the user enters a new value, that value will be stored in this new item variable. Now you can append this value in the list with the help of append function. So you call append method like this, name of the list, and then call the append method with the help of dot operator, and inside the append method you pass a value, and that value will be inserted, appended at the end of the list. Then you can ask the user, do you want to
add more items, type Y for yes. So this prompt will be displayed on the screen, and when users type Y, that Y will be stored in ANS, and you know that while loop will execute again when the condition is true. So if answer is again Y, then this statement will execute again. So this process continues until the user types other than Y. Finally, you can print the list on the screen. Modified list /n. You know that /n is a new line character. So this text will appear after the modified list string. Means new line character makes the cursor goes to the next line, and then you can use one for loop for x in list item. So you know that you can iterate over the list item with the help of this in operator for x in list item, and you can print the items on the screen, print x. So the function is defined here, and now I will check whether this function is working correctly or not. So I am calling add items function, and inside the add items function I pass the list. Let's see what happens when I run this program. So you can see it is asking enter name of new item. So I am entering red label T. So it is asking, do you want to add more items? Type Y for yes. So I am typing Y. Then again it is asking enter name of new item. So this time I am entering good day biscuits. Do you want to add more items? Yes. Enter new item. So I am typing Apple pure ghee. Do you want to add more items? No. So when I type no, and the loop terminates and the control goes to the next statement, you can see three items red label tea, good day biscuit, Amul pure ghee appended to the existing list. I counted how many items are there in the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 items. Then again I thought, is there any function in Python which can tell me the total number of items in the list?
Yes, Python provides a len function which returns the total number of items in a list.
The len function returns the number of elements in a list or number of items in a list. Let's see an example. Suppose there is a variable n equal to, and I call the len function, and inside the len function I pass a list. So this is the name of the list. I pass this list as an argument in this len function. So this len function returns the number of elements in the list, and you can display the number of elements on the screen with the help of print function. So when this function returns the number of elements in a list in the form of a int, that number is stored in n. Later you can display that number on the screen. So you can display one string also, total number of items, and then comma, and then you can write n. So two values you are passing in print function. So this first value is a string type, so string will be displayed on the screen, and next is the variable. So the value stored in the variable is displayed on the screen, and that value is the value returned by this len function. Let's run this program. So you can see it is displaying total number of items 12, because 12 items are there in a list. You can see this list contains 12 items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this function returns 12. 12 is stored in n and you can print that value on the screen. So total number of items is n. Let's run again. So it is 12. With my final list ready, I put on my mask and went out to buy groceries from a local shop. When I reached at the shop, shopkeeper welcomes me with a big smile. He said, "How can I help you, sir?" I handed over the list to the shopkeeper and requested him to provide the items mentioned in the list. After looking at the list, he said, "All items are available except hand sanitizer. Sorry, sir, it is out of stock." I reply, "It's okay. Please provide the remaining items." When the shopkeeper is busy in arranging the items, I again thought about Python programming. A question arises in my mind: is there any method available in Python by which we can remove any item from the list? Yes, there are three ways by which we can remove items from the list. Number 1, remove method. Number 2, pop method. Number 3, del statement. Remove method will remove an item by value. Pop will remove the item at a particular index. Del statement will remove item by its index. Here I will show how to remove an item from the list. First I will declare a list. The name of the list is motors. Motors is equal to square bracket, and inside the square bracket I can type the elements of the list: Jeep, then car, then bus, and then truck, and then bike, and close the square bracket. So this is the list I have created, and inside this list there are 5 elements. You can see 5 items inside this list: Jeep, car, bus, truck, and bike. Suppose I want to remove any item from the list. So first print the list on the screen. So in this way you can print the list on the screen. So when you run this program, it will print the list on the screen. You can see Jeep, car, bus, truck, bike. Now if I want to remove any item from the list, for example motors dot remove, and inside this remove method I pass any value from the list, suppose bus. So this bus will be removed from this list. You can print the modified list on the screen. Let's run this program, and you can see previously the list has the item Jeep, car, bus, truck, and bike. When I remove one of the item, it will display Jeep, car, truck, and bike. Bus is not there. So with the help of this remove method, you can remove any item from the list. One more method is there by which you can remove any element from the list. That is a pop method. Pop method also removes an item from the list. How it can be done? Let's see. Motors dot pop. If you call this pop method without any argument, this pop method will remove the last element of the list. And this pop method also returns the deleted element. So you can print the deleted element on the screen. So this pop method will return this bike, that the deleted element from the list, on the screen. You can print deleted like this, and then you can print the modified list on the screen, motors. Let's run this program. You can see Jeep, car, bus, truck, and bike, the previous elements of the list, and then bike deleted, and the modified list displayed on the screen: Jeep, car, bus, and truck. So this pop element not only deletes the last element of the list but also returns the deleted element. You can also pass an index in this method. When you pass any index in the method, it will delete the elements at that particular index. You know that each list item has a particular index. It specifies the location of the item in the list. For example, Jeep has an index 0, car has index 1, bus has index 2, truck has index 3 and bike has index 4. So if you pass any index, suppose I pass 2, 2 means the third element because the index begins from 0. So 2 means third element. So it will delete the third element and so returns the deleted element. Let's see, I am running this program. So bus deleted because bus is at index 2. So the third element has been deleted and the modified list is displayed on the screen: Jeep, car, truck and bike. So with the help of pop method you can also delete an element from the list. One more method is their del statement. With the help of del statement also you can delete any particular element from the list. Let's see how it works. You write del and then name of the list, and inside the square bracket you provide the index of that particular item. For example, if I provide 1, so index 1 means second element in the list. So this del statement will delete the second element of the list. Later you can print the list on the screen. Let's see. So Jeep, car, bus, truck and bike. Now this statement executes. Del Motors 1 means the second element car, and now the modified list is displayed on the screen: Jeep, bus, truck and bike, and car is missing in this list because it has been deleted with the help of this del statement. So there are three methods by which you can delete items from the list. An idea just flashed in my mind. Why not to create an interactive function to remove an item from the list? So here I am defining a function. You know that to define a function you have to use a def keyword. After def keyword you have to write the name of the function. So the name of the function is remove item. Maybe you have some little bit idea about functions. So this is the name of the function, and inside the parenthesis I will declare one parameter list item, and then colon, and then you press enter. So when you press enter you can see the cursor moves to a indent position, and inside this function you have to write the code. So this code will execute only when you call this function in your program. So I am declaring one more variable answer equal to y. So in this variable I will store the user's response in the form of yes or no. Now I will use one while loop, while answer equal to y. You know that while loop executes until the condition is true, means the statement written inside the body of the while loop will execute again and again until the condition is true. When the condition becomes false, the loop will terminate. So I ask the user, with the help of input function I will display one prompt on the screen: which item should be removed. So when the user enters any value, that value will be stored in this item variable. Now you can check whether this item exists in the list or not. If item in list item. So with the help of this in operator you can check whether the item exists in the list or not. If item in list item, then you can remove that item from the list. Remove dot remove. So you call the method. You know that method is also like a function which executes, which carry out a particular task. So you call a method with the help of dot operator, the name of the object, then dot, then name of the function. And inside this remove method, you know that you have to pass an argument. So I am passing item. So this will remove an item from the list. You can print one message on the screen, item deleted successfully. Otherwise, you can display a message, print item not found. Then you can ask the user, press Y to delete again. So when the user press Y on the keyboard, that Y is stored in this answer, and if answer equal to Y, you know that all these statement will execute again. If the value of answer is not Y, then this loop will terminate. After the termination of the loop, you can iterate over the list for X in list item, and then you can print each and every list item on the screen. So this is a complete definition of the function remove item, and you know that this code will execute only when you call this function in your program. So when you call this function, you need to pass a value as an argument. So let's call this function remove item and pass a list. So this is the name of the list, and I am passing this list in this function. So when you call this function, this code will execute. Let's see what happens. I am running this program. It is asking which item should be removed. So I type some problem is there. I am running again. So it is asking which item should be removed. So I type hand sanitizer. So you can see item deleted successfully. Press Y to delete again, but I enter N. So it is displaying the list on the screen. So you can check hand sanitizer is not there because that item is deleted from the list. Since the shopkeeper has no automated billing system, he calculates the total amount to be paid with the help of calculator. After paying the amount, I returned back to my home with all the items kept in a carry bag. On the way, I again thought there must be an automated system to calculate the bill amount automatically. After reaching home, I feel relaxed and then start creating the logic of processing list with numeric data. My logic will store numeric values in the list. My program will ask the user to enter the price of each item available in the list item. I will create a separate list to store the numbers. The name of that list will be rate list. So one idea flashed in my mind that there must be an automated system which can calculate the total amount automatically. So let's create a function to calculate the bill amount. I am defining a function here. You know that to define a function you have to use the def keyword, and after that you can write the name of the function. Here I am writing the name of the function calculate bill, and then parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis you can declare a parameter. So when you want to call this function in your program, you need to pass one argument which will store in this list item. So one more list I want to create, rate list. You know that how to create an empty list, just assign square brackets to that variable, and this way you can create an empty list. Now I can iterate over this list item list with the help of for loop, for x and list item, and then print the value of each list item on the screen with the help of print function print x. So each and every list item will display on the screen. After that I can declare one more variable, price is equal to, and then float, and then I call input function. You know the what is the working of input function. Inside the input function I am typing one prompt. Now what happens, this input function will display price on the screen, this string on the screen, and when the user sees price, he will enter any number, and that number will be converted into float. You know that float means the number which contains decimal numbers. So this float will convert that number into float, and that number will be stored in this price variable. After that I can append that value in this list with the help of append method. Inside the append method you can pass a value, that value will be inserted at the end of the list. So for loop complete. Now I want to declare one more variable, total, in which I will store the total amount to be paid by the customer, and one print functions I am using here. So hash and multiplied with 35. So you know that this multiplication operator applied on the string. So this multiplication operator, when applied on the string, it is called a repetitive operator. So this repetitive operator will repeat this string 35 times on the screen. After that I write slash n moves the cursor on the next line, and then I write slash t. You know that slash is a tab character, the cursor moves on the next tab position, and then I write bill, and then close the string and close the bracket. So this will create a line of hash will appear 35 times, and then cursor moves to the next line, and this bill will be displayed on the screen, and then again I want this line should be displayed under the bill. So again I multiply it with 35. So keep in mind that when you apply a multiplicative operator on the string, number multiply with a string, so this string will appear multiple times on the screen. So you can make multiple copies of the string with the help of this repetitive operator. So this is okay. Now again I am using for loop for I in range, and inside the range I am calling len function, and inside the len function I am passing list item. So what happens, this len function will return the number of items in this list. Suppose the number of items in this list is 15, so this len function will return 15. So you know that this for loop for I in range 15, so the value of I is up to 0 to 14, means 15 times. So 15 times the code will execute. So I am writing here print and then list item and then square bracket and I. So you know that you can access individual element with the help of an index, and index you have to write inside the square bracket. So when you write list item 1 means the second element, list item 0 means the first element. So I am accessing an individual element with the help of an index here, and then I can justify it with ljust function 25, and inside this I am passing one character. So it will justify up to 25 characters, and then comma, and then I again using slash t, it is a tab character, and then again comma, and then rate list, and I am accessing the individual element of this rate list. So here I am accessing the items from the list, and here I am accessing the items from the rate list item, which is a numeric list. So both the values will be displayed on the screen, and then I can calculate total equal to total plus rate list, and then I pass the value of I. So how it was when I is 0? So 0 plus rate list 0 means the first element of the list added to this total, and then total amount will be stored in this total variable. So this process will continue, and it, with the help of this iteration, it will calculate the total of all the numbers. Now again I want to print one line. So again I multiply the string with 30. So 30 times this character will appear on the screen. After that I will print the total amount, and then I'll justify, and then again I am passing 125 value and a blank string, and then concatenate with the help of plus operator. You know that this concatenation operator joins two strings, and then comma, and here I am displaying the value of total on the screen. So this is the complete function to calculate the total of the total of all the items on the screen. Now let's check whether any error in this module or not. So there is no error. So I will call this function. You know that when you call this function, the code written inside the function will execute. So let's call this function calculate bill, then see the out. So inside this function I am passing the list item. Now let's run this program. So it is asking the price of shaving cream. So one by one I will enter the value, and in the last I will see the output of this program. So let's enter the values one by one. So I am entering the value 170, and then bubble toothpaste 90, and then Dettol hand wash, so 220, Lifebuoy lemon soap, so it is 60, Jasmine hair oil 180, and Vim dishwater, so 40, and then Harpic toilet cleaner 160, Tata salt 30, and then Ashirwad atta 290, and then Fortune oil 520, and then Pear soap 130, and hand sanitizer 220, and then Red Label tea 260, and then Good Day biscuit tea, and then Amul pure ghee 500. So all the values has been entered. Now you can see whether it is displaying the bill or not. So it is displaying the bill. So are you excited? So you can see the effect of that repetitive operator, how nicely it is displaying on the screen, and bill is written between these two lines, and each and every item is displayed on the screen by the user, and in the last total amount is also displaying 2,910. So with the help of software you are making sure that it will always give the correct result. So this is how this function works. So I am closing this. Till now we have created three functions. Number 1 add item, number 2 remove item, number 3 calculate bill. Let's give this project a final touch. Let's create a menu based system to call all these three functions in our program. First I have to import sys module in my program. So I will create the code for main program. I am declaring a one variable response in which I will store the user's response in the form of yes and no, and then I will use while loop while response equal to y. You know that the statement written inside the while loop will execute again and again when the condition is true, and when the condition becomes false, the loop will terminate, means it stops executing the statement. So inside the while loop I will display one menu. So I am typing triple quote. You know that triple quote is used to type multi-line string. So here I am typing multi-line string, and inside this line I am typing main menu, and then again, so the main menu should appear in the middle of these two lines. Then I type one add item, and then second remove items, third calculate bill, and then 0 stands for exit, and then again I close the string triple quotes. So you must keep in mind that triple quotes is used to type multi-line string in a Python. So one variable I will create here choice. So choice equal to int. You know that this int function will convert the string into an integer number, and then I call the input function. Inside the input function I write enter your choice 1, 2, 3 and 0, and then I close the string and then close the parenthesis. So I will check if choice equal to 1, then I will call the function add items. Inside this add item I will pass list variable, and then if choice is equal to 2, then I will call remove items, and I will pass list item, and if the choice is 3, I will call calculate bill function. So inside this calculate bill I will pass list item, and then I write else if choice equal to 0, then I call the sys modules function sys.exit, and inside this function I will pass 0. So it will terminate the function, and then in the last I get the response from the user. Do you want to continue? So if the user enters y, the statement written inside the while loop will execute again. So let's check the whole program. You will see one list item variable is created. Inside this list there are elements, and then one function I created add items. This function will add items in the list, and then I created remove items. So this function will remove items from the list. Then I create calculate bill function. So this function will calculate the bill and display that bill on the screen, and then this is a main program. You know that your program begins from the main part of the Python editor, main part of this program, which is the outside of all the functions. So you display a menu on the screen, and this menu contains new numbers 1, 2, 3 and 0. So when the user enters any number, suppose 1, so this this while loop, inside the while loop I call this add items function. So let's run this program and see the output. So you can see on the screen, menu is displaying on the screen, and it is displaying 1, 2, 3 and 0 choice, and add item, remove item, calculate bill and exit. If I type 1, then it will ask the name of the new item. Suppose the name of the new item is brush. So this brush will be inserted in the list, and it is asking, do you want to add more items? Type Y for yes. So I am typing N. So you can see the last item in the list is brush. So do you want to continue? If I said yes, then again it will display the menu. Now if I choose the option 2, remove item, so it is displaying the error. I will see what is the error in this program. Remove items. So I am calling remove items. So I have to correct one mistake. This is not remove item, this is remove item. So S is not there. So again run this program. Now see, the menu is displaying on the screen. This time I am entering 1. So enter new item. I enter brush. So do you want to add more items? No. So it is displaying that brush is inserted in the list as the last item in the list. So do you want to continue? I type yes. So again it is displaying the menu on the screen. This time I entered 2. So remove item. Which item should be removed? So again I type brush. So item deleted successfully. Press Y to delete again. I press no. So you can see in the list now brush is not there because brush is deleted. And now do you want to continue? I said yes. Now calculate bill. So I press 3. So it is asking one by one the price of each and every item. So you can type the price. Suppose shaving cream is 50 rupees, bubble toothpaste 40 rupees, Dettol hand wash 60 rupees, Lifebuoy soap 30 rupees, Jasmine hair oil 80 rupees, dishwash bar 20 rupees, Harpic toilet cleaner 65 rupees, Tata salt 36 rupees, Ashirwad atta 200, Fortune oil 500, and then pear soap 54, and then hand sanitizer suppose 75, red label tea suppose 120, and good day biscuit suppose 40, and Amul pure ghee suppose 540. So all the data has been entered. Now you can see it display a bill on the screen. So this is how our software is created, and you can see the bill is displayed on the screen. Total amount it is showing 1910 rupees. Do you want to continue? So I type no. So the program terminated. So in this way you can see how I created a useful software in Python, and you can also create such useful softwares with the help of programming, Python programming. Now I close this window, and I advise you to take interest in Python programming so that you can also develop such a useful software in Python. So this is how my story ends here with a useful software development. Let's see what you have learned from my story in the next slide.